So Nicholas, I can't believe I have to follow that with my number 9. You're like, this is such a heartfelt game. So it's such like a
I know
meaningful
mine.
experience.
Yeah.
Mine's
Okay.
Bloons Tower Defense 6.
Oh my god! What? How does that beat Celeste?
It's so good. It's so good. B
Tier
besties.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Today,
What are we doing today?
we're doing something interesting. We figured, the people don't really know us. Like they watch us sometimes, and they might hate our opinions on things. But do they truly know us as people, Dylan?
I think they probably know a little bit too much about us as people.
That's actually true. This probably won't clear anything up, but today we're getting a little personal. And we're ranking.
No, we're not. We're not getting personal.
We're getting more personal than usual.
Sure.
I mean, when we're ranking like silverware and stuff, who cares?
Yeah.
It's not. They're there for the silverware. But today, we're ranking our top 10 plus some honorable mentions video games.
Yeah.
Our personal top 10 list. So we're both ranking our top 10 video games on separate tiered lists. I'm editing this video and I'm going to be like cutting back and forth between the lists so you'll be able to see them added.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a little name tag for both of our names. So hopefully this should be a fun video.
Yeah. Can I go on a little rant before we start going on our top 10 list?
Sure, please.
So, when creating my list for this, I fully realized how little of a gamer I was. Because there's plenty of games I liked that I considered for the top 10 list. But, like, a lot of the games I was putting on my top 10 list, I wasn't, like extremely passionate about, I feel like I haven't played that good of games in general. So, I don't know. That's a little, interesting while crafting my list. Because I'm like, wow, this is really making it here. This is this high up. I feel like
that's fair.
I haven't played that many games that have, really good stories, So I was, looking for, the good story game to come up and didn't really happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, do I have a series for you?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk later. I actually agree. What I realized is not how few games I've played, but how few games I've enjoyed, and also how few games I actively like playing.
There's a lot of games I have a lot of nostalgia for that I don't remember playing enough to actually genuinely put on the list. Especially because a lot of them, I think some of the nostalgia just comes from watching my brother play them too. So I'm talking Ratchet and Clank right now. I'm talking Super Paper Mario. Neither of those even made my honorable mentions list.
Super Paper Mario didn't make your list.
No, Super Paper Mario. It'd be a close honorable mention, but it's not here.
Interesting.
So, do you want me to start with some honorable mentions with that out of the way? I have a few more
start with your honorable mentions.
Okay, so one of my honorable mentions is Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I think it's a great game. It's you can play up to 4 players, and each copy ability in this game has its own smash moveset essentially. I think this is peak Kirby platforming. One of my favorite platformers in general. I think it's a great game. It's not that difficult, but there's a second a hard mode that you unlock after you beat the easy mode, and so you can start playing it slightly more difficultly, but not that difficult. I never finished hard mode final boss. I probably could beat it now that I'm a little bit older, but that is a challenge that I kept trying to beat and never conquered.
Interesting. See, I thought this one would be on your top 10 list because I've heard you talk about it before.
Yeah, it doesn't quite.
So 2 of my predictions are out the window because I would have said Super Paper Mario and the Kirby one just because I've heard you say you like those.
I'm not saying there's no Mario or Kirby on my list. I'm just saying.
No, I know. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well.
And I'll throw in one more honorable mention too. Before we get to some of yours, I have Sonic All Stars Racing Transformed.
What?
So this racing game is way better than Mario Kart. Or it's not way better than Mario Kart. It's slightly better than Mario Kart. It's really creative because the tracks change every lap, but in interesting and cool ways. And I think the game just feels better. The gliding areas and there's areas where you're on water and they control really smoothly and really fun, and it's different from like when you're like not on, like when you're just on the roads or whatever, which I don't think Mario Kart really has. Like its gliding section is kind of boring. So I think this is really fun racing game compared to what like people usually play.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should I give one of mine?
Sure.
All right. My first honorable mention is Wii Ski.
Ooh.
This is a skiing game on the Wii where you just ski around a mountain. You do different mini games kind of. It's like a multiplayer game, so I've played it with my family a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
You can like ride the lift together, compete in challenges, do racing, go down various slopes. There's also like a mystery to solve where there's like a Yeti somewhere and you have to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that this could be on the top 10 just because I haven't played in quite a bit. It's a very much like nostalgia bait kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's not top 10 worthy, I don't think, but it's pretty good.
Okay, I'll throw in one more. Another one of my honorable mentions is Just Dance. I played the first time I played Just Dance was this summer, so it's hot and fresh off the presses. I've just had a lot of fun playing it. The times I have played it, it's fun to just like dance up there with friends. Just be silly, be quirky. So I think it's a lot of fun. I don't think it quite cracks the top 10 though, but I think it's a good social experience.
Sure. My next game, honorable mention, is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Ooh.
Now this is a I'm being very obscure with these first couple ones, but this is a game on the PlayStation 2, which it's like Star Wars themed, and there's some fun. I don't know, it's pretty fun. You can do different campaigns as like the Empire or the Rebels. And like there's like a story mode type thing.
I think I've played this game.
You can do a bunch
too.
of. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially like when you're the Jedi and Sith, going around with like lightsabers. You can spend hours just fighting each other, and it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. It might not be that game, but I have a friend who has like a Star Wars game at her house, and so I went over there a few times, and we weren't the best at it, but I don't know. It was fun.
Is it like super old?
It wasn't that old.
Okay, see, this one's like really old.
Okay, maybe not this one then.
So it's probably another Star Wars one, but this one's like 2005 or something crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, what else you got?
I got Dungeon Run.
Oh, okay.
So this is a game where there's only one image I could find on Google Images, so I just picked that one and turned it into a square. But it's a Flash game that you could play on like Ninja Kiwi's website. Now you can only play it on Flashpoint, in which you have to collect these little timepieces and then bring them back to the clock and to have like more time to play. And there's like 38 of them, and you have to collect them all. This is my favorite Flash game by far. I love just like going back and forth between the clock and memorizing where they are and trying to like figure out where all the clocks are. And I've beaten this game so many times, and at this point, like, I can pick it up after not playing it for a few years, and like I still beat it, and like I'm not accomplishing anything new, but like it's just like so fun. It's just like a good way to get back into like the mindset of like middle school me or something. It's a fun solo player experience. I do recommend it if you have Flashpoint or some other way to play like old Flash games.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like we're both being pretty obscure to start with. I think it shows we're maybe not the most experienced gamers,
Yeah. If Dungeon Run's making the list.
All right, my next one. This one might be a little surprising, but my last honorable mention is Minecraft.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
It's a game that I've probably put in like over 2,000 hours into, like over my whole life. But at this point, it's not my favorite game. Like, I still like playing it at times, but I just kind of get bored of it after like 5 hours on a server. Because I feel like you get your resources, and I'm not interested in any of like the house building stuff. I like Minecraft PvP, but even then, not enough to like, I don't know, play it often. So I pretty much only play it whenever like friends have a server and then I play there for like a day and then get off.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there's my honorable mention, number 11. And
Yeah.
I'm also I'm putting them in the order that they would be in. So Minecraft would be 11, Wii Ski 13.
I was going to, but then I've just sort of been doing them in random order.
Sure, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So my last honorable mention, which I'm considering still while I make the sentence whether or not I want to bump it up to 10th.
You could do it.
Should
you
I?
could switch it up right now. Nobody can see the bottom.
I think I will. So my previous number 10th. No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I did not do the switch. It's Gartic Phone. Gartic Phone is so fun. So, if you watch our board game tier list, Telestrations was my favorite board game all time, and this is just Telestrations but online. Oh, it's so good.
Gartic
It's
Phone.
even potentially a little bit better than Telestrations. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of
That's
it.
so funny.
It's like, if we were ranking games, this could be like top 3. I feel a little disingenuous saying this is one of my favorite video games when like, to me it's always gonna be a board game first, you know.
Yeah.
But like it's such a good, because how it works is like, yeah, someone does it, draws the image, and the next person like guesses what it is and like gives like a prompt to them essentially with their guess. The next person has to draw that. So it's like a broken game of telephone where you're like going back and forth between drawing and guessing. And it creates the most hilarious experiences, especially if you have like the right group. So like I could play that endlessly.
Yeah, I respect it. I'm glad it's not 10th though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It's so good. It's
Right.
such a good game.
I mean it is, but I think that would make our list look. It would be concerning, I think, if we started with number 10 being Gartic Phone.
My number 10 is still gonna be concerning. Don't worry. Why don't you start with your number 10?
All right, my number 10. We're still starting a little bit obscure here. This is Samurai Warriors 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're still obscure, but it's at least a video game.
Mm-hmm.
It is a game. It's like a hack and slash kind of game where you go around, where you're in. The campaign. You play as a bunch of different people, like your player characters, but they're all historical figures from like 16th century Japan, during like a time where the country is fractured, and each character you play as is trying to do their own thing. You know, try to unify the country. The thing is, though, all the campaigns, you don't like get to really change them. Like you have the set levels no matter what you're doing, but you learn some history. So it's like this guy is fighting in this battle, and you get to play as the guy in the battle. And if you lose the battle, you still lose the battle, but like you get to win during the actual gameplay. But then there's a little like post game thing where it's like, although the person was defeated at the battle, so you don't really get to actually change the story much. But the gameplay's really fun. You can play with one other person. You have to be on the same team, though. It'd be cool if you could play on a different team. But, yeah, Samurai Warriors 2, both historically educational and fun.
Yeah, I still don't follow much of that. I don't have a visual in my mind. I'll have to look that up afterwards.
The visual is PS2 graphics, fighting, a bunch of button mashing, pretty much.
Okay, sure.
With some history and voice acting. And the characters are supposed to be Japanese, but they all look very white.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And some are anime, too. Some are very anime character.
Makes
There you
sense.
go. Those are your visuals. The game's hard to explain. You know, I could take hours. But give us your number 10.
Okay, I've done a few swaps on the bottom of my list, such that now
Wait,
my
you're
number
swapping
10.
right now?
I'm swapping mid video. I'm indecisive.
So that means that the one you said was concerning.
No,
was 10,
my number
so that
10
would
is
be
now
higher.
good. My number 10, yeah, the concerning one is now number 9. And number 10 is Celeste.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, like,
Nice.
I think Celeste has amazing aesthetics. I think the music is great. I love the platforming in the game or whatever. I just can't really genuinely say that it's, like, my favorite game when I haven't just played much of it, you know? Like, I feel like I haven't done enough
Sure.
Celeste to, like, fully advocate for it. It doesn't have the nostalgia factor yet, you know.
Yeah.
But like it cracks the top 10 list for me at least right now.
That's good. Because I guess that would have been 9 before. But imagine that loses to Gartic Phone. I would have been pissed.
Oh, don't worry. Some of the things it'll lose to will still piss you off. What loses to at number 9? But like, I think it's a great game. After playing the first level, I wasn't convinced, but once I got into it, I think it's a good time. I think it's also like it feels like a very emotional game, which I really like. If you can tell off of my honorable mentions, my video game interests sort of have like a Nintendo aesthetic, and so it's not really the most like emotionally gripping at times, which is strange because like I feel like that's who I am and how I consume my media. You know, like in terms of television or whatever. Like I like emotional, well-written characters. So I feel Celeste fills that void for me, in which it's surprisingly lacking.
That's fair. I think the Nintendo aesthetic definitely is one that I have, because I have 4 games so far, none of which are Nintendo, but of the next 9, 5 are Nintendo.
Okay,
so,
sure.
There's a little sneak preview there. But for my number 9, this probably won't shock Dylan at least, but it's a Zelda game. It's Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. Okay.
My first one. This is an amazing game. This game, I mean, it's really hard to describe. I mean, it's a Zelda game, so I don't probably need to get into like the mechanics of it, but it is quite possibly one of the most heartfelt and important stories that I think a video game can have. Like, it is truly, the amount of like video essays on YouTube that there are about this game, like I can't do it justice in explaining just how sad and like depressing and dark it is, but also like with little bits of hope and light. And I think the dichotomy is really interesting. And in terms of a Zelda game with story, it's probably one of the best ones you can find. There's a reason it's so loved. And I only played it for the first time like 3 years ago, so the nostalgia's not there. But for a lot of people, this is like what they grew up with. It's a really, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's a really great game. Amazing story, amazing gameplay, and great music too. One of the best you can find. I only put it on 9. Honestly, it might be higher, but the fact that I do have at least one other Zelda game on this list, I didn't want to put them like, 1, 2, 3.
Sure. So Nicholas, I can't believe I have to follow that with my number 9. You're like, this is such a heartfelt game. It's such like a meaningful experience.
Yeah.
Mine's Bloons Tower Defense 6.
Oh my god, what? How does that beat Celeste?
It's so good. Everyone out there can relate to being on level 63, and then you think you're prepared for like the wave of ceramic balloons, but you're not, and you get thrown to town, if that's a phrase. That's like such a relatable experience, There's customization. You get like attached to using certain towers, and then you learn that those towers aren't actually that good. Like there's so much exploration and strategy building, and I love all of that. It's such a good strategy experience, in my opinion. I like all the Bloons Tower Defense games. I grew up with them. Like I think I remember like playing like Bloons Tower Defense like 2 or whatever on cool math games. So like I've been there through it all. I'm not one of those people who like super uber competitively plays it. If you go to like the Bloons Tower Defense 6 subreddit, it's cruel. The people there are mean, and because like they expect everyone else to be playing the game so competitively, which I don't. Yeah. I'd rather figure out what things are powerful on my own than like look up a tier list online and be like, oh, apparently this super monkey is the best one when you do a 2-5 path. Like I don't want. I don't want to be told the answer. I want to find the answer.
Sure.
But I think strategy-wise, it's an amazing game. It's so fun to like learn the quirks of levels and like try to like master a strategy. I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I have nothing to say to that. I don't know.
Where you're like, I'm glad Gardevoir wasn't on the top 10. I'm like, you're in for a treat.
No, I'm still happy that this beat out Gardevoir though.
Okay, good. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is this one's a little bit of an interesting one. I didn't expect this to be in my top 10 until I made this list, but number 8 is Mario Kart Wii.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one is both a lot of nostalgia, and it's my favorite Mario Kart. I know that the Switch one is like probably better, but it's just less fun for me. I like the levels more on the Wii one. I'm better at the Wii one, so it probably adds to it. But this is just like if I'm home with my family, with my siblings, and our parents are somewhere, or we just want to hang out. This is like the perfect game. This is just like a go-to fun party game. Whenever a friend comes over, and we want to find a game to play, I'll usually recommend it.
Yeah. It's not as good as Sonic All-Stars Racing, though. I mean.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, I don't know. But, yeah, Mario Kart Wii takes my number 8 spot.
Okay. I agree with that. I think Mario Kart's a great game. My number 8 is a sort of like Bloons Tower Defense 6 or like Just Dance or whatever. It's sort of a little bit of a placeholder, but I don't think the rest of the games in this franchise would have made my top 10. I'm talking Pokemon Violet right now, the most recent Pokemon game.
Okay.
Every time a new Pokemon game comes out, I play it, assuming it's like one of the mainline ones, and every time, I'm super satisfied, even though like they might not even change anything about the game. It's just like enough time has passed between the last Pokemon game and the new Pokemon game coming out that like the vibe of it is still really fresh and cool. And I just love like creating your little team, and going out there. The thing that puts Pokemon Violet over the top is that like I actually got emotionally invested in it. I think I might have cried towards the end because I just like let myself get invested. There's a scene in the end when you're like going down like this long hill or whatever. It's got like there's some crazy plot twists here. But the thing that's cool about it is that like when you're walking, just like around, like the characters are actively having dialogue with each other, and the dialogue probably isn't like the best written or anything, but like because it's not like dialogue you have to like skip through, but like it's just like actively happening while you walk, and I was actively paying attention. Like it was actually like really heartwarming and stuff. Just seeing characters that like hadn't interacted much before, just like have conversations, and you gotta like feel their dynamics. I'm like, I didn't expect that from a Pokemon game, but like it did it well. And so
this is the open world one, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
It's not like it's not like the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon, but it's the
no. But it's like the attempt, the foray into open worldness.
I think it worked all right. It wasn't perfect how they did it, but I think generally they did it all right.
Because I haven't played a new Pokemon game since Ultra Sun, I think. I'm not quite up to date.
I will say the thing about Pokemon Violet though, my one negative mark on it, or my largest one at least, was that I don't like that. I don't like a lot of the new Pokemon designs in this generation. I didn't realize this until after I finished the game, but my only like new Pokemon that like ended in my final party was my starter. The rest of mine were just like older Pokemon, which like
oh, that's funny.
I don't know. I didn't know Frostlass existed before this generation. So I thought Frostlass wasn't a new Pokemon.
Team? What was your team?
I'd have to look back. So I had my starter. I had Frostlass. Shoot, I don't remember the rest. I'll have to look, and I'll send it to you so you can put it on screen. But yeah,
sure,
it's good.
That's fun. I haven't. Yeah, I should probably give the new Pokemon games a shot.
Yeah, I mean they're classics.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Undertale.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this is a game that I've only played like once or twice maybe, and this is, I think, the only game on here that I don't like playing like as much as the others maybe, but just for its story alone. And just for the game itself, it deserves its place on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think once you play it once or twice, you know, the gameplay itself isn't that fun. You just kind of like dodge attacks in the battles. And like once you've played it, you know what to do pretty much. You know how every enemy is solved.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a game that definitely is best the first time through, and it does feel different every time. But just has an amazing story. You know, the idea of an RPG where you like don't have to fight everybody is just, you know, nowadays, just because the game's been out for so long, it doesn't feel like that novel of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's just really interesting. And it really makes you feel things. Like the genocide route where you kill everybody,
Mm-hmm.
that hurts.
Yeah. I have
So you grow an attachment.
the my Undertale experience. I didn't finish the game. Just like a future game on the list. But I didn't realize.
Wait, what? You didn't finish? So that just took me a second. You didn't finish one of the other games on your list?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Oh my god.
But Undertale, I didn't realize when you're fighting your mom at the beginning that you had the option to not kill her. I thought it forced you to, because I tried running or whatever. And I was like, you can't get away, you can't get away. And I was like, oh shoot, they're forcing you to kill your mom. And so I had a very emotional experience playing like the first like 2/3 of it or whatever, because like I was like, wow, they're forcing you to kill these characters, and it was so sad. And then when I found out that you didn't have to, I was like, what? I've been doing violent acts this entire time. I don't remember why I stopped playing. Actually, I do remember. That's when Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild came out, or at least I got them.
Oh, okay.
And so
Sure.
I sort of got distracted.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would definitely recommend finishing it though, especially if you don't know, like you don't know any spoilers for it, do you?
If I've gotten spoilers, I don't remember them.
Yeah, so I would definitely remember. I would definitely recommend.
I'm
playing it.
spoiled for the mechanics of the Sans fight.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not spoiled though, so
There are different paths too, so you might not even,
Mhm.
you know. It's different, yeah. But I would definitely recommend
Mm-hmm.
finishing it.
Okay.
All right, what's your number 7?
This is one you're not going to expect.
Oh,
Mario Kart
I have
8
not
Deluxe.
expected any of these. Oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay, a few things. One, is Mario Kart Wii a better game than Mario Kart 8? Yes. Do I think Sonic All-Stars Racing is a better racing game than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Also yes. Am I better at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Big yes.
That's all.
Okay,
That's
so
it?
the thing about Mario Kart 8 is that a lot of people play it. Like, it's a game that a lot of people have. And I'm, for some reason, just really good at it. And usually, like, how good I'm at a game, I try not to let me, like, impact, like, how much I enjoy it. But time and time again, I just do so well at Mario Kart. I'm like, whoa, I feel so good about myself. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. It's such a good feeling. And that's what lands it at number 7. Because I feel like, wow, I'm capable. You know, it makes me feel capable at things. Which, it's a good feeling.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good enough reason.
I don't think it deserves the number 7 spot. But, like, my own little selfish opinion of, like, it feels good. Like, it feels really good to play, I think. Even if I think it's worse than, like, my top 20 games or whatever. I think it feels better than, like, even a few of the games I'm going to talk about later. So.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, that's what I did with Mario Kart Wii. Like, if
Yeah.
I was bad at that game, it would be so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that.
I think
That's a
Mario
good
Kart
reason.
has an advantage of being really more new player friendly than some games, you know? Like,
Yeah, true.
As a
Not
racing-
Smash.
yeah. I think it could do better at that. Because like, when you're playing against people who haven't played before or haven't played much, you could just easily beat them. It's not that fun. But, like, I do think that that's when, like, having teams, like, the fact that there's, like, the team feature in Mario Kart 8, like, that makes that all go away. Actually, quick story. In high school, my friends Ezra and Libby, for my social psychology class, I made them play Mario Kart against each other. Because I was trying to see, like, how people reacted to, like, winning and losing and stuff like that. I mean, it's social psych. And Ezra was better than Libby in general at Mario Kart. And he got first every race. And there's, like, 4 races. But we were playing Team Mario Kart. And so Libby's team of 5 random CPUs way outperformed Ezra's CPUs. And so Libby won. And like I had like a cash prize of like $5 or something. And so like Ezra was so annoyed that like he got first every game but lost the $5. Ugh. So fun. It really helped my study.
That's cool.
Okay, what's your number 6?
Okay. My number 6 is Age of Empires 2.
Age of Empires 2?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm a big fan of the 2s here.
Yeah.
Samurai Warriors 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm just hopping on all of these franchises late. Age of Empires 2 is... It's kind of like a civilization game, but it's like more war-oriented. And there are various... You can play campaign or you can play free mode, but you pretty much like... It's like a resource management game too, so you have a bunch of resources. You like create villagers who go out and like mine stuff and like chop wood, farm, and everything. And then you use those resources to like build armies, improve your civilization, do advancements, build buildings and stuff. And all the while you're like in a battle with a bunch of other people, so they could send their armies after you and just like kill all of your villagers. It's a very tactical game, but it also has the campaign has a bunch of like history, like medieval history battles, which is actually I think a big reason why I'm interested in medieval history. I think this game, just like seeing all the stories, because I played this when I was like 10 years old.
How many years old?
10.
Okay.
So I think being able to do that, it's just really cool. It's a really cool game. It makes you think a lot, and you can play with friends online.
Fun.
So Age of Empires 2. It's on Steam, so I would recommend it for anybody who has a PC.
Sure. So, my number 6?
Yeah.
This game I have not completed.
Oh boy, okay.
Another Mario game, Super Mario Sunshine.
Ooh, okay, that's not a bad choice.
So, I considered playing Super Paper Mario, as I said earlier. I considered Odyssey. I even briefly considered the Galaxy or Galaxy 2. I think Super Mario Sunshine is the best game out of all those. I think it's one of the best like 3D platformers, I'd say. Because the aesthetics are so great. Like Super Mario Odyssey has good aesthetics, but Super Mario Sunshine is like I feel like more consistent of an aesthetic that it really pulls off. Having Flood is like makes the mechanics and like maneuverability super fun, and it's like a challenging game. Like I haven't beaten it because it's challenging, which, I mean, I could return to it at some point. The problem is it's on GameCube, so I'd have to like figure out an easy way to return to it. I don't know. I think it's such a lovely game. It has such a good environment. It has such a good like hub city because you're just like going around Delfino Plaza. Like everything about the game exudes such a like fun environment that I think a lot of games don't capture anymore. Yeah. There's also like these really difficult platforming sections where like you're like sort of in space kind of, and it's like, dude, there's like this like music and you have to like dance across platforms. I don't know.
I think that choice redeemed you with a lot of people. It made up for the Balloon Tower Defense.
And my next 2 choices will lose all that redemption that I just made. My next 2 are trash.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, before then, I'll do my number 5.
Yeah.
This is Crusader Kings 3.
Ooh.
It is a grand strategy game by Paradox Studios, which is pretty famous for their grand strategy at this point. They have a bunch of famous games. They have like EU4, Hearts of Iron 4, Victoria 3, the Crusader Kings series. They have a bunch of series that they do a bunch of releases in. Those are just the most recent ones. But it's a grand strategy game set in medieval times. You kind of like you get to play as a character. Unlike the other Paradox games, it's far more character focused. So like you are a king or you are like a duke or a count, and you get to like make choices. You have a family. I mean, you don't have to have a family, but like you have relationships in the game that determine how characters act, and like you can do a whole bunch of things. You can do activities and everything.
Sure.
And it's all set in this medieval world that's constantly changing around you, and there are so many elements you could participate in. You could like, and there are different like routes that you could choose to do as a character. So you could like focus on like diplomacy, military, like managing your country. You could like be an intrigue. You could do like an intrigue focus, which like you plot a bunch of people's murders and like do a bunch of like spy type stuff. So there are a bunch of things you can do with this game. I think I've put in like over 600 hours at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very in depth, and there's a bunch of DLC that they do too. So it's a pretty fun game. You can spend a lot of time.
That seems like a game up your alley.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to Age of Empires kind of in that it's like management and history. It's pretty cool. I like those kinds of strategy games where you feel like you're both, doing something like kind of like challenging, but also this game's really cool because you can like be a person and you can like name them anything you want, have them act a certain way, It's really cool.
Yeah.
Plus there's nice art.
I also like strategy games like Bloons Tower Defense 6.
Oh, man. See, I'm being obscure, although CK3 isn't very obscure, but I feel like I'm being obscure in like the opposite way,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my games might be more socially acceptable.
Yeah. My obscure games
But I mean,
are not that.
yeah, but I'm interested. What is your number 5?
So my number 5 is Fall Guys.
Okay, that's not horrible.
So Fall Guys, like, it can be annoying. The fact that they vault rounds, which means basically there's like a bunch of levels that they have coded and stuff that just like for months you can't play, and then as a result there's like 20 games that are like in rotation, such that you keep saying the same games over and over again. That's really annoying. But apart from that, this is like the most fun game to play with friends. It is just like so exciting and so like new player friendly too. Like you just pull up with a squad, including people who've never played the game before, and like you have a chance at winning. But at the same time, like you slowly get better at the games. There's so much random luck and stuff involved too that like it always feels fair. And like sometimes you die in like the dumbest ways and you get out and you're like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. But it's Fall Guys. And so that it's allowed to have that, And like
True.
It's rage inducing when it's like in forgivable ways. And also I don't get rage induced because I'm a peaceful little person. But like just like the vibe is so good and it's just so unbelievably just like fun. Like fun is the right word for it, I'd say like fun describes this game better than my next 4. I'd say they have other like emotions that
Sure.
maybe my number 1 or 2. I haven't decided yet which one is which, but it depends on the vibe of the trajectory of this video.
Sure. Okay.
But Fall Guys is just like it's a blast. And playing with people, you can just call all the other people who are playing that you can't see because you're playing with random people online. You just be like, oh, they're idiots. Oh, they're so dumb. Why did they do that? Like, oh, they're just a bunch of kiddos, a bunch of toddlers playing. And you're just insulting them the entire time while you play. I don't know. I love playing this game with Zev. We'd be doing homework and we'd be like, let's take a Fall Guys break, and we'd just like play a few rounds of Fall Guys. Like, amazing.
True. I joined you guys once, I think.
Yeah, you should do it again. This is number 5 game.
True. True. We have a Discord server now.
Yeah.
All right. My number 4 game is, I'll say this, it's in a series that you've said. Do you have any guesses?
A series that
I'll throw
I've
in some
said.
interaction. Yeah, so it's a game from a series that you also had a game in, but it's not the same game.
Okay. I don't think it's Pokemon. You've already said Mario, so I don't think you're going to be doing it. Is it a Sonic game?
No, it is Pokemon.
Ooh.
It is Pokemon Platinum for the 3DS. Not for the 3DS, for the DS.
Exciting.
I played on the 3DS because it's bigger screen and you can play DS games. But this is the 4th generation. It's like the definitive edition kind of, so it's the 3rd release, which they used to do for a bunch of generations where they would like polish up everything. And it's way better than Diamond and Pearl, which are the 2 that it accompanies. But it's just a really cool game. Great Pokemon. Frostlass is from that generation.
Yeah.
good story, good Pokemon. It's actually one of the more challenging Pokemon games. Like the champion especially is notoriously difficult. So a lot of people's complaints with Pokemon nowadays is that it's kind of like made a lot more easier, and that it's more targeted towards kids, and that wasn't as true back in the day. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but there definitely are a lot more puzzles that are like pretty complex, and they don't really have like a tutorial or anything. It's not very clearly spelled out. So there's a lot of fun in, figuring things out in this game and like dealing with the level difficulty. But yeah, Pokemon Platinum. It's definitely my favorite of the Pokemon games. I was considering putting on like either Pokemon Black or White, because those are definitely up there too.
Those are my first Pokemon games.
Yeah, those have a better story than Platinum for sure. But in terms of like a full experience, I think Pokemon Platinum. Like, I would recommend Pokemon Platinum to any new Pokemon player as a place to start.
It might be harder because they might not have like the software for that. When you want to play like a game on the Switch or Wii.
Yeah, I just think it's the best. I guess nowadays it's harder, but I could give them my 3DS if they were really interested in the game.
Sure.
But I think it's just a very good representation of Pokemon, because you don't want to give them like Pokemon Red from like 1996. They're gonna be like, what the heck is this?
A lot of bugs. That's what it is.
A lot of bugs. But yeah, Pokemon Platinum.
Okay. You want to hear my number 4?
Yes. Is it Among Us?
Among Us did not make the list.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Among Us is my favorite game to watch, I think.
Okay.
It tied with one other game potentially, but
sure.
It didn't make the list. I don't find it as fun to play. This game though is Deep.io. Woo! IO games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm just speechless.
Okay.
Okay. Go. Why is this game your 4th favorite?
I feel like you lost all respect for me there. You're like, why?
This
is a console game.
The Fall Guys. I respect the Fall Guys one more.
I know. So.
Okay.
There's a lot of customization here. And like what paths you take. Like you get like there's 8 stats that you can upgrade, but there's also like a bunch of different classes that you can take. So you could be like a sniper, or you could like have like a quad tank, or there's a lot of things you could do like there. So like the things I like from like Bloons Defense 6 in terms of strategy, also here. Actually to the lesser extent, but they're here. The main reason I like it though is it's a really fun multiplayer experience. Because like you're part of a team. Or you don't have to be, but I like the teams mode most, or also tag. But like you're part of the team, and it feels like you can make an impact, and it's really fun. So like in the team mode, there's like a leaderboard, sort of like in Agario. This has like the top 10 players in the lobby, and usually when you join, they put you on the team that has like less people, or the team that has like less like super high level people. So you'll join, and the leaderboard is like almost all red, and you're on the blue team, and it's like wow. We don't even have a fully maxed out person, and the other team is like 8 of them, and so they're camping like our like safe zone or whatever. Like, it's impossible to make a comeback. But then slowly, you can like build a revolution, and slowly you and then maybe a few other people too like are able to get high level. You're able to take out their large people, and then eventually the leaderboard's all blue people, and it's like wow, I did this, and it's satisfying. It's really satisfying. And then eventually, it comes to an end. Eventually, you do something silly, and someone gets you. And it's like, okay, that's enough Deep.io for today. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Sounds great.
I've played a lot of it compared to like Fall Guys or Super Mario Sunshine.
Sure.
Just saying.
That's fair. I guess I wasn't ever thinking like browser games here. I wonder if my list would change at all with browser games, because in theory I might enjoy playing them more. But I don't know if I'd ever put it on a top 10.
You gotta try it. You gotta try Deep.io. It's so accessible.
It's tied with Pokemon Platinum.
Yeah, exactly.
On our lists.
We currently haven't had any overlap yet. Like, we both had the Mario Kart game, we both had the Pokemon game, but no overlap yet. What's your number 3?
Well, do we want that to change right now?
Yeah.
My number 3 is Celeste.
Whoa.
It's a great game. Pretty much you said a lot of it, but this is another one where I'm really good at it. So I think it adds a lot. It's really satisfying to be good at this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be able to pull off all the tech and stuff and just like do the cool jumps, the cool tricks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I play it sometimes. It's just satisfying to just move in this game. Like the movement's very satisfying, the dash is very nice. So sometimes I'll just like create a new save file and just like play through the 7 levels. Just either like try to speed run, try to like get all the strawberries,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's also great story. I've put in like over 600 hours into this game, and haven't regretted a single minute of it. Although except for like the first 5 hours where I was very upset.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
I died like 300 times on the first level alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to YouTube and seeing like people would die like 40 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've gotten better.
Yeah. I think Celeste is a really fun game to improve at, because then like you look back at it and it's like, wow, like it doesn't feel like you're improving because the levels are getting harder, but then like in hindsight, and like when you replay a level, try to get that golden strawberry sign, you're like, wow.
Yeah. You still haven't done the seasides, have you?
Nope.
Interesting.
It's possible I did one of them. I think I might have done like the second seaside or something, but I don't fully remember.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your number 3?
So this used to be my number 1. I mean, by used to be, I mean like a long time ago, not like when I've been rearranging.
Oh, not like today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's also probably the game I have the most hours in. And I'm talking about Super Smash Bros. Actually, it's debatable. Like, I probably have more hours in Brawl than Ultimate, but I do think like Ultimate's a better game. Regardless, both of the games, so many hours in. They're just like so fun, and like I'm the same skill level roughly as my brother, and so we could just like go and play hours and hours and hours on end, and we could talk. We'll be listening to music and having a conversation and playing at the same time, and like we could just multitask all of them, and it's just like we're so like. It's so ingrained into us how to play Smash Bros. Well, and we'll be playing random character too, so we'll be like doing random matchups, and like it's just amazing. We have a on Ultimate. We have what's it called, like a setting where we turn on just like custom levels only, and Ultimate has the best like custom level maker, like ever. Like
is Ultimate the newer one?
Yeah. Custom stages can be made so well in it that like we just have so many fun and unique designs that like we could play just like on repeat for hours. We designed so many of them. It's amazing. Yeah, I love all the characters, how they play slightly differently, but like I have the fundamentals down because I just play random all the time that I could sort of pick up with anyone. Such that like people always have like their mains, and I'm a Kirby main, but like I can sort of play as whomever I want, and like I'll be fine, which is it's good.
Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, I can play Wii Fit Trainer. So yeah, I think that's a lot of fun for me. One of the main things that like I dislike about Smash Bros. Is that it's a terrible party game. Awful. Because like just slight differences in skill level just like make it not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because like Mario Kart, I was saying that earlier, that like sometimes I'll just be all the way in the head, like ahead, and other people will be behind. And like there's nothing you really can do about that. Smash Bros. Not only like is it hard to like bridge that gap, but also just like the dynamics that people want are different. Like I feel like a lot of people who like Smash Bros. They like playing like no items, like Final Destination or whatever. And that's how like I often play as well when I'm not playing custom items, like custom stages with items. But like it creates a little bit of conflict though. Like when you want to get a group of people to play Smash Bros. Together, suddenly like one person's expecting like more competitive type plays. Someone wants items, and it's like it feels like no one is happy, and it's like I don't know. I like playing with more than 2 people at once. I like throwing in some CPUs, but some people are like, "What? You're doing that?" Like, I want to have like a true test of skill here, and like I don't know. That mentality annoys me a little bit. I think Smash Bros is fun in like all its versions. I think we probably should play like just like time more often, so that like people who aren't as skilled can still play the entire time. But I don't know.
Mm.
I think it's a great game. I think it has amazing story modes consistently, even though it has no reason to. So like the what's it called? Subspace is amazing in Brawl. Like love it. Ultimate it's like a City of Light or what it's called. What is it? That's World of Light. City of Light is from the 100. Great TV show.
Sure.
World of Light though is actually really fun. I did a Nuzlocke of it, which is a lot of fun. It's not really a Nuzlocke. It's like whenever you lose with the character, you can't play them anymore. But you can unlock any of them. It's called Light Lock. I got the idea from Alfred, although I was playing on a difficulty less hard than him. It is like the perfect level of difficulty. It is a lot of fun. I don't know. I recommend Smash Bros. But also like not as much as I used to. I don't love it as much as I used to be.
2 games have passed it.
Mm-hmm.
Balloons Tower Defense 5 and 4.
Exactly.
Okay.
What's your number
Should
2?
I go with my number 2?
Sure.
All right. Do you have a guess as to the series?
I think it might be a. What's that game with the green guy?
Yeah, the Kirby.
No, the Kirby's pink. Who's green? Zelda, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Zelda is the green guy.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is my number 2 favorite game of all time.
Ooh.
There's only one word I can use to describe this game, and that's epic. This game is just, in every sense of the word, it's epic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so cinematic, it's so cool, the story's great, and it's just like an amazing adventure.
Sure.
Like, so much happens, you go through so much, and that's like every game. But I'm trying not to spoil here, because I'm holding on to hope that you'll one day play this game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing, and the gameplay is just fun, too. Like, every Zelda game, I would say pretty much every Zelda game has really good gameplay. So the stuff that separates these games for me is
These
both,
games.
like, mechanics. Huh?
These games. Spoiler warning.
What do you? I mean, every Zelda game. What separates all of these Zelda games from the others is both the mechanics and also the story.
Mm-hmm.
And this game doesn't quite have the same like thematic prevalence as Majora's Mask and another game, but it's pretty good. I don't know. It's really cool. You grow attached to these characters. You grow attached to Link. He has more personality than he does in a lot of the other games. Because early Link just does nothing. Like, you still like him, but he doesn't. Like, he still doesn't speak in this game, but he, like, smiles a bunch, and he, like, you know, he does bigger movements that make him more of a character. That's, like, a real character. But yeah, Twilight Princess, I would recommend. It might be coming. They might be doing a remaster on the Switch at some point.
Ooh.
Right now it's on the Wii and the Wii U, but I would highly recommend getting this along with Wind Waker because I think they're going to release that one too.
Yeah.
When you're on a boat.
There's a lot of wind, I heard.
A lot of water actually, but true. Ooh. There's wind. Like the whole world is an ocean.
Whoa.
There are a bunch of islands you explore. It's really cool. Anyway.
Yeah, that does sound
Number
cool.
2.
I have a few other honorable mentions I want to shout out. We Play has a surprisingly good like Mario Party type mode. So I think it does it way better than Mario Party. Same with Pac-Man Party. Both of those games, like leagues ahead of Mario Party in terms of like that sort of type of game. I also want to shout out Wii Sports Resort because like Island Flyover is so fun, so much fun. And as you can tell, I am stalling to make the decision on what my number 1 game is.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a little random, but I'll take it, I guess.
I have the conventional pick, and then I have the more out there pick. I think I know. I think you know what one of them is.
I don't think so. I'm struggling here. I feel like everyone I thought was on this list has not been on this list.
We'll make it to the top two.
Maybe.
I feel like I should go bold. Yeah, I'm gonna go bold.
Go bold.
Number two
make
is
it
gonna be
fun.
Minecraft. You know.
Oh, okay, sure. I should
So-
have seen that coming.
Minecraft. It doesn't feel like my favorite game. You know, I'm not as passionate about Minecraft as I am number one. So I think that's why, for now, I'm gonna put it in number two. I just think it's like the best designed game, like sort of period. There's so much you can do with it, and especially like with mods or whatever. Like, I feel like the game is like sort of an endless platform to do other things. There's a reason why it keeps coming back into prominence. Like, survival and creative. Like, what? And like if you can see it online, the things people have done with Minecraft, it's amazing. I mean, the game can get slow. Like, once you have one like SMP, like once you have one like server that you play on, and then that ends, and you try to join another server, like sometimes it's like hard to get into the second server, like because like you got so invested into the first one. But just like the amount of like, it's just such a good avenue for like having good conversations with friends, like exploring just like yourself in like a really serene environment. It has good music. The game has good updates. Like the updates add cool new features that you didn't know you wanted. Then environmentally, it's just like when you're in the Nether and you're lost or whatever, it's like wow, like it feels like an alien world. It feels like hell. Like the vibes it goes for, it generally pulls off, and it just like allows you to do super cool things. And like the people who want to build the redstone can build the redstone. The people who want to do like fighting stuff can do fighting stuff. And just like, I loved playing hide and seek on the Hive server back when that was the thing. That was so much fun. I just put hours into that. I don't know. I think Minecraft is an amazing game.
Yeah, it would definitely be. It would have definitely at one point been my number one game in like 8th grade.
Oh, wow, that sounds like an insult. You're like, oh, that's a baby game.
It's an 8th grade game.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with it at number two, though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see your bold number one choice.
But first, do you want to say yours?
My number one choice is widely regarded. Well, not widely. That's probably too. At one point, it was widely regarded as the best game of all time.
Ooh.
It's the highest rated game on Metacritic, which is like a video game rating website. It's the only one with a 99.
Ooh.
It revolutionized the 3D world.
Avatar.
The 3D video game world. It didn't have CGI though. But it was one of the first 3D games to really, I don't know, it did
Doom.
it so perfectly from the start, and it set the standard for an entire video game series for 20 years to come. And that game is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Super Mario 64.
No, but it came out the same year as Super Mario 64, actually.
But tell me
People
about
actually
this game.
like Super Mario 64 a lot. Okay, so I played this game. The picture I have is from the N64. I played it on the 3DS in like 2019 for the first time. So a lot of people, before I say why this game is my favorite, a lot of people think that it's only people's favorites because of the nostalgia, right? Because everybody was a child when they played it back in 1996, and they loved it, you know? Or actually, 1998, sorry. But I played it in 2019 for the first time, and let me tell you, it's amazing. It does everything right. So it's a Zelda game, so, you know, you do your dungeons, you do your quests. It's an open world, kind of. I mean, open world, not really, but there's a world to explore at your own will.
Yeah.
Different discoveries to find. But what really sets this game apart for me is its story of... It doesn't quite have as good of a story as Majora's Mask, and it's not quite as epic as Twilight Princess, but it fuses both of them into just an amazing story. So you start as a child in the game, and events happen, and you become an adult. Like, you skip forward through time and you become an adult. And there's like a really, the game doesn't so explicitly lay this out, but there's a really cool story here of like dealing with lost childhood and, coming to terms with that. And really a lot of this is like subtext. So characters don't really like say, oh, you're no longer a child, you lost your childhood, your innocence, everything like that. But that's why like this game's like great to analyze as a video game. And
Sure.
also the hero is he's a tragic hero. He saves the world, and then he gets sent back in time, and nobody remembers him. Nobody knows that he did anything really. In the world that he gets sent back to. So in the world that he's sent back to, nobody remembers him, and in the world that he left, he's like a hero, but he's not there anymore, so he doesn't get to reap any benefits. He's a very noble soul. He's also cool. He looks cool. I don't know. Great gameplay, great boss fights, great dungeons. Best dungeons in the series probably. Well, that's not true. Maybe it's the game with the second best dungeons. But that's saying something because Zelda has amazing dungeons. Great game. This game I would also recommend playing. If you have a 3DS, it's like $10.
Ooh.
One of these days, I'm going to get you to play a Zelda game. Like an old Zelda game, though. Not like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Like an old one. All right. What is your number one favorite video game?
I wish it could end in a 2 because it deserves a sequel so badly. I have mentioned Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. I've mentioned Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Neither of those is the best racing game.
Oh boy.
The racing mode in both of them is better than the racing mode in this game.
Okay.
But
have I heard of this game, do you think?
I've probably mentioned it to you, but if not through me, then no.
Okay.
I'm talking about Kirby Air Ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. This is the Kirby game I've heard you talk about.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference between that and the other Kirby game you mentioned.
No, this is like a platformer. This?
Yeah.
That's racing.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
If I played Kirby Air Ride now, would it be my number one game? No. Nostalgia is very much shocking here.
Okay.
But this is before like the whole battle royale thing was like a thing, So I feel like Kirby Air Ride sort of invented it. And it does it in such a fun way because you get like 7 minutes. When I talk Kirby Air Ride, I'm talking about the city trial mode. Everyone knows that. If you play Kirby Air Ride, we're talking about city trial. You're in you have 7 minutes. You're like in a little like town, and you go into the woods, you go into the volcano or whatever. And you're just like collecting power ups and like trying to find the best cart to ride on. And then there's a mini game at the end, and whoever wins the mini game wins the round. So it's like a 10-minute like commitment, and you just play round after round after round of that, and it's just so fun. You could interact with the other Kirbys, just like driving around the town. You like hop off your cart, get onto a new cart. Oh no, you lost some of your power-ups. You have to go grab your power-ups. And then, oh, there's an event. Dynablade is here and terrorizing the city. Or like, oh no, there's meteors. And it's like, it's so
Dynablade.
good. Like,
wow.
Every single part of the game or every single part of City Trial at least, feels so fun and so exciting. And like, it's just like, trying to get all those power-ups and stuff, trying to get the Dragoon, trying to get the Hydra, like, it's a blast. My one complaint being that there's not a sequel. There's so much you could do in a sequel. Have multiple maps. You could have, like, more types of, like, unique cars. Because all the carts have, like, their own, like, cool thing. Like, there's one that can't turn. You have to, like, park to turn. But it's, like, super fast. There's one that's, like, you have to charge up before you can move it. But then it's, like, very powerful. Like, there's ones that can glide really well. So there's so much variety. They could add even more variety to that. They could like add better like AI. The CPUs kind of suck, but then they get all these power ups for free, so like they can make that better. But like, all in all, amazing game mode. I'm so passionate about it. I wish it wasn't for the GameCube because if it were like on the Switch or something, I'd play it all the time. Please Nintendo, make a sequel. Literally Nintendo, if you on the next console after Nintendo Switch release Kirby Air Ride 2 and it gets good reviews, heck, maybe even before it comes out, you could encourage me to buy another console. I don't think I'll need something after Nintendo Switch. I don't think I'll be gamer enough. But if you release Kirby Air Ride 2, I'd highly consider it. More than another Smash game, more than anything else. If you release Kirby Air Ride 2, I would need to play it, you know. I'd save the money up. I'd get people to buy it for me. I don't know how I'd play it, but I would play it, and I would have a blast. So, Nintendo, that's a lot of money right there. There's a lot of money. You should do it. If Nintendo's watching right now, please make Kirby Air Ride 2.
That is a lot of money. See, I mean, I could play it. I could play the first one.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a
wonder how
GameCube or a
expensive it
Wii?
is, though.
Oh, it's super
I
expensive.
have a Wii.
It's like $100 now or something.
Oh, then I might
This is
not.
like
'Cause
all
I was
these
gonna say
GameCube
we
games
could
are.
we could both play each other's first game, you know.
Mm. I
Nice.
could say, do you have a Wii?
Number one.
Like, the problem is you don't have a Wii on campus because like
Yeah.
I could in theory like over
don't.
winter break bring it to campus, but
I could bring a Wii winter term.
I mean
I just
I'm
wouldn't
always-
I wouldn't have anywhere to plug it in though.
yeah, well we can figure out something. I think you gotta play Kirby Air Ride. The reason
Sure,
why I
I'd
say
be down.
nostalgia is talking though a little bit is like battle royale is now a more common genre, and even though it's not like totally battle royale, you are like 4 Kirby's in like an arena together where you can fight each other if you want, you know. So like I feel like it's sort of predecessor to that, and so I feel like it's not as exciting. But like it's also all local play. You can't play with people online, which probably should be a feature, but like it makes it a fun game to play with friends. As you can see, like on my list here, I'm not a big single player person game. I like multiplayer games. So like Super Mario Sunshine is instant multiplayer. Like Celeste isn't. Bloons Tower Defense 6. Like there are single player games here, but like a lot of the ones I like most, I like because you can play it like with people, you know.
Yeah, that's funny because I think 7 of my 10 games are single player.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. I mean, those are our lists right there.
I really enjoy doing this. I want to make more top 10 lists.
Yeah, it was fun. We got to speak about our things, and we didn't have to, you know. In theory, we just have to find categories we both
Mm-hmm.
have stuff to say about, and it's not the same things, you know. So there's diversity in it.
Mm-hmm. I desperately want to do a top 10 TV show list because I just would have so much to say.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not a big TV person.
Yeah, and that hurts. Because I could have double the content. I could just give you half my shows.
Yeah, true. You should just do 20.
Do-
Do a
wait.
solo video.
Do you have a lot of movies though? No, not really. We could do like a if we did like a TV show and movie tier list, you know. You could
Yeah.
come up with a combined list, and then I could just like, you know, not have any movies on my list.
Yeah, that's true. I could probably find TV shows. I mean, I have watched 10 TV shows, so worst case scenario, I just put all 10 on there
Mm-hmm.
in just the order of worst to best.
Yeah,
But yeah, we could definitely do more like this. We need a thumbnail template, though, you know?
yeah.
It's the issue with all these videos. Because our
Mhm.
meme brackets, you know, we don't have a template for that, and you saw how that thumbnail went.
Yeah, I don't think the meme, because the problem is like when trying to make a thumbnail, I want to make something that looks like somewhat professional. I think like our look, we have like a unique look now, but like you don't want to make something that looks like it's just like drawn in like a photo editor very quickly, you know. So
Yeah, well, the top 10 one should be easier because you could just put in, like, numbers, you know?
yeah, mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But with that, I think, you know, feel free. We have a link in the description below
Mm-hmm.
if you'd like to submit an idea for a future tier list, bracket, or top 10 list, apparently.
Mm-hmm. We're branching out.
We're branching out. We just like ranking things, okay? So
Yeah.
doesn't matter what. All right. Should we end the video?
I think so. Besties?
All right. Tier.
B.
Bye.